Welcome back to the Breeders' Cup News Minute, powered by DRF Formulator. I'm Scott Jagow, along with Ray Paulick. We're coming to you from Santa Anita Park. We'll have a Formulator Fact from the Distaff coming up, but we'll start with today's news. A couple of bad breaks. Unfortunately, Maxfield, one of the top contenders in the Juvenile, is out with a foot problem.
Yeah, he came up lame in the right front today. Brendan Walsh said, you've got to think of the horse instead of the emotions. And it's unfortunate. He was the Breeders' Futurity winner at Keeneland, and I thought, had an excellent shot in this race. But let's go back a few years. A horse named American Pharaoh had to scratch out of the Juvenile. Things worked out well for him after that.
Yeah, I guess so. Another scratch is in the sprint. Landeskog, not one of the top contenders, a Doug O'Neill horse. He is out of the Breeders' Cup as well. Let's move on and talk about the draw yesterday. Breeders' Cup Classic. Kind of an interesting draw when you look at where the speed is and where the closers are.
Yeah, as it turns out, the four horses that I think are going to be vying for the early lead all drew next to each other, starting with Higher Power on the inside. He's going to go.
Hole number 7.
Yeah, and then you've got McKinsey, Vino Rosso, and
then Mongolian Groom right out there. And then outside of them is Code of Honor. So it's possible Code of Honor gets a good trip, because he can break, let them go, and then he slides in behind them. So he may have a nice stalking position, a little bit off the rail. And then the closers, though, most of them are inside. So that's going to be interesting to see how that all works out.
Yeah, and you don't really know who the speed is. There's no crazy speed in this race. So it's going to be a matter of who guns it out of the gate, and I think Higher Power will be the one that probably gets the lead first.
Another thing that happened at the draw, unfortunate for this horse, is in the Distaff. Paradise Woods drew the rail, the dreaded rail, and she's going to have to go, unfortunately. But trainer John Sheriff said, in the Breeders' Cup, you need a little bit of luck anyway.
It would be nice if she could work her way to the outside a little bit, not be stuck down on the rail, because that's for any race, any horse, that's not the best place to be. I think there's enough speed in the race that she probably can't clear the fields. You got to get a little break, maybe get to the outside a little bit. That's part of horse racing.
Well, Paradise Woods is coming off a win of the Zenyatta Stakes here at Santa Anita, 5 for 12 overall right here. But Midnight Bisou, the heavy favorite, let's not forget that she started out here in California. She's 3 for 4 at Santa Anita.
She's also 7 for 7 in 2019. She hasn't lost since last year. And I think she's probably the most deserving and heavy favorite of this Breeders' Cup. I think her 6 to 5 morning line is going to go below even money, and I think she's earned that. Jeff Bloom, one of her owners, talked about what a ride it's been since she went on this streak.
I often say words cannot describe or do justice to how incredible an experience and the ride has been. It's been rewarding, fascinating, exciting, emotional. It's been great for me, my family, our friends. And you just don't want it to end. But at the same time, you recognize that as you're going through it, fortunately, and you try to stay in real time and appreciate each and every one of those moments.
Well, Jeff Bloom told us that he got started in the business mucking stalls. Not a lot of owners can say that. He's a former jockey who went to college after his riding career. He was an exercise rider. He exercised Sunday Silence 30 years ago, the horse of the year for Charlie Whittingham. Started Bloom Racing Stable, and to have a horse like this, a small-time owner to get a hold of a horse like this is truly amazing.
Can't wait to see her in the Distaff on Saturday. One of her rivals, Blue Prize, is the subject of today's Formulator Fact, and I think she has a shot in here if Midnight Bisou doesn't run her A game. Ignacio Correas is the trainer. Last 2 years, dirt routes in graded stakes. Horses that are coming off a win are 4 for 10, ROI above $4, so that's not bad, and Blue Prize has done that a couple of times. That's not the only horse he's had that's done that, but she is in that situation again, so watch out for Blue Prize in the Distaff on Saturday. That'll do it for today's edition of the Breeders' Cup News Minute, powered by DRF Formulator, drf.com/formulator. You'll find out more about it. We'll talk to you tomorrow.